Hi, I'm so pleased you wrote. I've been sitting here going through files waiting for the weekend to come. So here's what you do. You do have access to most of the major newspapers and most of the minor newspapers in the United States and all over the world in places like that. So here's how you access them. There's two strategies since we have access to them through various databases. One is you could look right here and you could do Panther film review, might be movie review. It looks up the keywords. This is not an AI. And you could see a scoping review. I was expecting there to be a lot more. There's only 47 articles. Okay, maybe this won't be great. The one time that I don't want them, I'm getting scholarly articles. So be that as it may, here's what we do if we want to get into the newspapers. So go to databases, and if you know, so some of them are called like New York Times, you could go into that that database name, but sometimes it's called ProQuest newspapers or blah, 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 blah. So here's your strategy. Go to database by type, go to newspapers, and then from here, you can see specific titles. So there's like the Atlanta Daily World, Chicago, there's Chinese newspapers, there's Wall Street Journal, Denver Post, Salt Lake Tribune, etc., etc., etc. But there's also one that captures a bunch of them. So Nexus Uni is one of them, but the interface is kind of weird. So let me show you another one. And there's like other ways of doing it than this, but US Newsstream is my favorite because it's mostly newspapers. If you wanted to, you can go to publications and look up New York Times. And you could look for, theirs is probably the late edition. They used to call it different things. So like the Wall Street Journal will also be called like the Eastern edition. But there's no more editions. It's all like 24 hours. But you see, it goes back to 1980. And if you click on that, you can search within the publication. In this one, I would say, put it in quotes, Panther, and then you can look at a date range in case you're worried, because in this instance, you might find the political activist group from the late 60s and the mid 70s, the Black Panthers. And you can go by date. So when did that film come out? That was like 10 years ago? What is this right here? 2010. Ticket update. So there's actors and all sorts of different things like that you could throw in. If you wanted to, you could add and review, and that'll narrow it down. But some of them, oh, there's Bozeman. So do you know the title of it, of the article that you're looking for? That might help, because you could look for that in quotes too. But if people are going to call it a movie, people are going to call it a review, and so it's a bit of a pick. So here's what I would suggest. You can look in all of the newspapers. When you click on Advanced Search, I'm going to get rid of the publication ID, which is the New York Times. I'm going to do Black Panther and another word, review, and then I'm only going to have that be in the title. Document title. That way I'm not getting stuff that's kind of mixed in there, but it's like reviewing the film. So there's all the newspapers in the United States. Let's do in the last, we'll do that date range thing. Hey, 183. And of course the first one's irrelevant, but there's like Black Cinema, Cult, so Black Panther reviews, reviews for the easily distracted. That's me. And here you can see the title of the paper that it's showing up on. So you can go into the paper and search. You can search all the papers in this or Nexus Uni, and you have full text to all of these things. Don't forget that if you're off campus, you have to click on this and do the duo authentication thing with your phone. Otherwise, you won't have full text access to it. Some of these things will appear out on the open web, like Google Scholar. But for things like pop journalism, like newspapers and things like that, it's better to go through here because the web interface of the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, is different on how they authenticate who has access, if that makes sense. So let me know how it goes. It's a great topic. And here's a fun one. If you're interested in more than just the film, there's a whole bunch of people that talk about Wakanda as a social construction for a societal dissidence. So for what it's worth, there's a lot going on with that film, and it's not just the film. And you could look up the actors, writers, directors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Let me know how it goes, and I'm happy to help. Happy holiday weekend.